Welcome to English Without Borders, dear all who are joining our regular series of Thursday webinars. And today we are very happy to see all of you joining from different parts of the country and all those who are joining on Zoom platform and also Facebook platform. We are happy to see all of you. And today we are very delighted to introduce our speaker. Our speaker today is Bakhtibegim Mamadrayonova, and today she will talk about the effect of discussion technique on student speaking ability. And let me introduce our speaker today. So Bakhtibegim Mamadrayonova holds a bachelor's degree in linguistics from Horog State University, and currently she is a senior English instructor at Horog State University and a part-time English instructor at the School of Professional and Continuing Education of the University of Central Asia. And in addition to that, Bakhtibegim has been quite active with English Without Borders Network. She has participated in our national conferences and was a poster presenter. And recently she has also became a winner of the English Without Borders Master Workshop grant program, and she received her small award in order to conduct teacher training in GBO. And with great pleasure, I'm giving the floor to our speaker today. Dear all, please stay active and you have a chance to ask your questions to our speaker today after her presentation. Thank you so much for joining, and over to you.
Thank you very much, Nasila. Hello, everyone. I'm really happy again to conduct webinar on Thursdays that EVB every time they hold these interesting webinars to inspire all English teachers to make their lessons more effective and interesting. Today my topic is the effect of discussion technique on student speaking ability. Do you see my screen? It's visible, yes? Okay, so the outline for today's webinar, it is first we will look at some aspects of what is discussion, and it is, yes, it has been recognized as a method of teaching in modern methodology. There are some types of discussion techniques we'll discuss, and yes, differ some techniques and how do they work. And then we move to advantages and disadvantages of using discussion technique, and the last questions that you might have during the session, and you will ask me at the end of the webinar. So, discussion. Yeah, I have a question. Mm-hmm. Okay, sorry, some technical issues. So discussion. Here I put a kind of picture of students that they discuss with each other. Can you please describe this picture? What kind of things do you see in this picture? You can describe their attitude toward each other and what kind of activity is discussion? How do you understand the discussion? Can you please write your answers? What do you see in this picture and how does it affect on you? Can you please write your answers in chat? Or maybe that in your classes, do you use discussion technique? For what reason do you use discussion technique? Okay, please. Okay, so here we have questions. Why is discussion so popular and what type of discussion techniques do you use in your class? Now we know that discussion, it is a kind of process during the class that students, they are engaged in this kind of process to enhance their speaking skills. So I have a question, why is it so popular? Do you have any ideas? Maybe you have read some research papers, maybe articles that discussion is so popular for what reason? Mm-hmm. Oh. Okay, I see some answers here that all participants are engaged. There are several groups for boosting speaking skills and based on students' interest. Here we have students get free and easy for them to talk among them. Peer talk is also a good way to improve speaking skills. The friendly atmosphere, sitting in a circle allows learners feel connected and more secure to express thoughts. Everyone is engaged. It is informal discussion. Discuss is popular because it provides the chance to everyone to be heard. Okay, so thank you very much for giving such interesting ideas for describing the discussion form. Now we have here the definition for discussion. How is it recognized? So use of discussion as an effective teaching tool is well established. Class discussion has been and remains the single most popular instructional method in education, with 83% of all English teachers reporting that they use it in all or most of their classes. So here it is according to US Department of Education, and it was stated in 2000 years. Now you see, at that time, now you see we are in 2022, 23, sorry. So the discussion from that time, it was an effective teaching tool, and it still remains the effective tool that it can engage all students. So the definition for the discussion method of teaching is characterized as a positive process that involves the student's ability to listen, to observe, to read, to think, and talks, respond, express, react. Now you see, from these verbs, you can see that student can develop all his emotional and his active abilities. They can at the same time they listen to each other, they observe each other. There might be some reading tasks that teacher can give them reading, and according to reading that they can discuss critically on different tasks. They think, they talk, they respond, and express and react. The teacher and the student participate in a group activity called the discussion method of teaching to define the problem and look for a solution. Now we see that in every discussion, teacher, he or she poses a kind of question that it can shake the student's mind to react on that question, and they can be engaged in order to solve any kind of problem. So the purpose, the objectives of discussion of using these techniques in classes, first, it facilitates the sharing of collective experiences and ideas. Then it clarification of concepts and information, aids in knowledge exchange and enhancement, makes the students more interested, make sure everyone participates as much as possible. The chance for critique and review is given to the students. Now, these are the purposes that teachers actually put in their lesson, how to, yes, we know that teachers during the discussion action, they facilitate the students, they collect students and they pose the question, and they just move around that circle. They monitor them, they can help them. It is a kind of facilitation. Clarification of concept and information. Sometimes it is not easy for students to understand the concept or the information that was given from the teacher or from the facilitator, and they might be confused during discussing the topic, and the facilitator or teacher immediately can clarify the information for them in order to be discussed among the students. So the another thing that here we see the knowledge exchange and enhancement. During the discussion, students, they exchange their knowledge, and during giving their knowledge to each other, they can enhance their personal knowledge. Makes the student more interested. Of course, during the discussion, different minds, they have different opinions, they have different thoughts, and it is of course very interesting to see different ideas and to combine it into one and to solve any kind of problem. Make sure everyone participate as much as possible. Of course, there are some types of discussion that they can involve all the students, or they don't involve all the students, because in every class we have shy students, or we can have low-level thought students, because their brain their brain works slowly to grab all the information, and when they come to giving their opinion, it is too late, because the dominant students, they have already done everything. And the last one, the chance for critique and review is giving to students. Now here the critique, it doesn't mean that to criticize, but it is critically come to problem and to analyze it, observe it, and to give solution. So now we are going to discuss those techniques, types of discussion techniques. There are 6 of them. You might find more than 6 on the internet, because different researchers, they work on different types of techniques. But here are some common discussion collaborative learning techniques that are very good strategies for improving class discussion. Now, the first one, it is think, pair, share. I'm sure all of you know, because you use this kind of technique during discussion. The purpose of Think, Share, Pair, it addresses critical thinking and collaborative learning. Step 1, teacher asks a critical thinking question, synthesis or evaluation in Bloom's taxonomy. Now, Bloom's taxonomy, it is really very good tool for teachers and as well for students, because Bloom's taxonomy, it has those levels of thinking, starting from low level thinking to high level thinking. When you give, for example, any kind of question or any kind of topic to students, first you brainstorm, you elicit the ideas according to Bloom's taxonomy, yes, that what do they know about any particular topic, and then what do they remember about that topic. Then they go to analyzing, then they evaluate, then to synthesis, and the last, it was changed by some researchers, the Bloom's taxonomy, the last level, this is high level thinking, it is creation. And it is very good tool for teachers to engage students and to synthesize or evaluate any particular topic. So the next step, students discuss questions with neighbor and come to some resolution. And third, conclusions from pair are then shared with class. So this process, how does it work? Now think, teachers begin by asking a specific question about the text. Students think about what they know or have learned about the topic. Then each student should be paired with another student or a small group. When they think, they can express their thoughts to each other. Is it in pairs or is it in small groups? It doesn't matter. So when they share their thoughts with each other, they're in pairs, yes? Each student should be paired. When they are paired, then they share their thinking with their partner. Teachers expand the share into a whole class discussion. So this process, it depends on a teacher that should she or he divide the class into pairs, into groups, into small groups. Then together, they in a whole class, they can share their thoughts. So the second discussion technique, it is round robin. The purpose of using this technique, it is generate ideas and speak in order moving from one student to the next. So how does it work? Here are the steps to use round robin. First, you choose the topics or question you want your students to brainstorm on. Then arranging the desk and the classroom according to the flow of discussion is smooth among the students. What does it mean? You put the students in a circle position, then the sharing ideas starts from one student, and yes, in a flow position, it goes like a clockwise. Then assign a leader to each group, provide each group of students with a sheet to write the concussion points and a recorder to record their discussions. Set a timer for each topic discussion, and at the end of time, each group must present their ideas on the topic discussed. Give tokens to each student so that when it's their turn to speak, they have to turn in their token. And this way, all students will get a chance to participate. So this is really good tool when you, for example, each turn of, the turn of students, when their turn comes and they discuss it in one group, each of them, they give their ideas, and the leader, there is a leader, provide each group of students with a sheet to write the concussion points, and they record, they record on a paper, or on a flip chart or something else. Then after their time, there should be a time limit. So when they discuss each topic, and at the end, teacher or facilitator gives them a token. This is a kind of mark that they can take each token and they can express their ideas. And this is very good thing that it is chance for each student to participate in discussion. For example, for this round robin, storytelling is a great way to use the round robin teaching strategy. And for this, teachers can create sheets of different words such as objects, colors, places, or anything. Then each student has to take a sheet. Now, sheet, it means it is a piece of paper, and teacher will provide different words on each sheet. Maybe she will put, or he will put, objects, colors, places, something else that is related to story. Then each student has to take a sheet. One student will start whatever word he or she has on his or her sheet, and she will start the story with the sheet as its main character. And the next student has to continue the story with their sheet name as the character, and this will go on until all the students have contributed to the story. This is really good. I really like this kind of type of discussion technique, because it's up to them. Yes, they will create their own story. What can they connect that word that they have on their sheet to create a story that there should be, yes, a really good connection between each other. They need to put it in order that the story should be interesting. Or in a funny way, they can create different types of statements that can be a very funny story that without any connection. But the purpose of using this one, that all students are participating, even those shy and silent students, they need to create any kind of statement to connect to that story. So let's move on to the buzz groups. This kind of technique discuss course-related questions informally in small groups of peers. A buzz group is an intense small group discussion on any question or topic. Educators split learners into groups of ideally 3 to 6 members, and then give the groups sufficient time to discuss the posed questions. Each buzz group then shares their key points from their discussion with the whole class. Yes, a buzz group, educators, they split the students and they pose on any particular topic, give the question, and they manage the time, because time is limited. And it is also a kind of technique that students might share their key points from their discussion. The another type is talking chips. Talking chips technique is a technique to make the students have opportunity to speak. It means that not only 1 or 2 students in the class who will dominate the speaking class activity, but all students have chance to speak. So here the process, how does it work? The teacher gives each student chips. Again, it is a kind of sheet or chips or piece of paper. Second, the chip has to be put on the middle of the table. The student wants to speak. Third, a student cannot speak anymore when she has put all the chips on the middle of the table till other student chips are also put on the middle of the table. Last, the teacher will give the student chips again and to continue the discussion. So this is also a very good technique for teachers to engage students, that those who do not speak more. And again, she gives those chips to them, and they, yes, they are forced to speak. Even they don't want to speak, they need to create kind of problem solution statements that their voice should be also there. Otherwise, in different kinds of discussion activities, they can, escape. They can escape. But in this one, they don't have any chance. They just need to create a sentence. So the next is 3-step interview. This is also a very good one. For the 3-step interview, students are grouped into small groups of 3. Each member in the group assumes the role of interviewer, interviewee, and reporter, means note taker. And each student should get an opportunity to play each role. To help explain the process, each student will be named as A, B, and C. Yes, you divide the students, the class into 3 groups, and those who are A's, they are interviewer, interviewers, B's, and reporters. Here I have the chart. How does it work? So steps. Step 1, interviewer, student A, interviewee, student B, and reporter, student C. Then they change their places. In step 2, student C, yes, he has or she has the report because she took notes. Interviewee, yes, interviewee first ask questions. The interviewer, student B, and reporter, he will take notes or she will take notes. Then student C in step 2 gives the report to student A. Yes, again, they change their places because they know that topic goes around, and they know what are they talking about. It is a very good tool to engage, that they share all their ideas with each other, and all of them, they are engaged, that students, all the students, they can speak with each other, changing their places. And here the last one, critical debates. Critical debates assume and argue the side of an issue that is in opposition to their personal views. The critical debate strategy involves assigning students a reading or problem or question on a given topic and having them write 2 reflections, one arguing for and one arguing against. In the following class, students are randomly assigned to argue either for or against in a formal debate with their peers. So critical debates, it is really good one. So this kind of tool especially is used in high school students, because their knowledge is more developed, and they know how to express their emotions, how to express their thoughts on any particular topic. And here the task is that for given topic, they have to write 2 reflections, that they are for and against. Students are randomly assigned to argue either for or against. It means that they change their places. They need to write first why are they for and why are they against. And during the discussion, first they express their for statements, and then they change, they read their against statements. And this is also very good discussion technique, that they debate with each other. At the same time, they debate with yes, and they debate with no. That both of the position they can express, because it helps them or teach them to be engaged in their further in public speech, that they can express both sides of any particular topic. Now, these were the types of discussion techniques. And here we discuss about advantages of using discussion technique. Now, the advantages, the first comes beneficial for auditory learners. So in this case, all students, they have opportunity to share their thoughts, their opinions, and this style, it is very good for auditory learners. Now we know that students, they are with different intellect, some can learn while listening to topics, some visual learners, kinesthetic learners. You are familiar with these kind of intellects. And this one, it is very good for listeners because they, at the same time, they express their opinion and they listen to others. They can learn quickly. Also, it is very good for visual learners because they see the process, how the discussion works, And at the same time, they listen, but they see, and according to their visual process, they can grab all the information and they can express. The next one helps to research and formulate arguments. So research, of course, in a discussion process, students, they research information from each other because different ideas, this is also a kind of researching. They see different points of views, and they formulate when they listen to other thoughts. They can quickly formulate their arguments. They know what to say, how to oppose the ideas. So more interactive than a lecture. Of course, teachers, some teachers, when they give the presentation, we can name the presentation a kind of lecture. It also works at university. When we give lectures, it is not a process of interactive learning, collaborative learning, but it is when you put the question among students, it may interact all the students. Lectures, of course, it is boring for them. They do not, get all the important information from lecture, but during interactive process, they can discuss the lecture and they come to one solution. Students have a tendency to stay focused. Of course, during the process of discussion, they are focused. They listen to each other attentively because it is required from them to present their ideas, and they stay focused on that topic. And the last one, can improve grades. What does it mean? Because during the discussion process, they enhance, develop their speaking skills, and of course, it affects on their grades. They know what to, how to pass their speaking test. So these are some advantages of using discussion technique. There are some other, beneficial or advantages, pluses that can affect on students' speaking ability. These are just the main one that how it can strongly affect on their speaking ability. Of course, we can see disadvantages of using discussion technique. Interruptions. Yes, they are more energetic and they want to express their ideas, and they can interrupt, even they can argue with each other. It is inevitable during the discussion process that students, they want to speak more and they do not let each other to speak or interrupt them. And it is one disadvantage, not for everyone. Of course, those students that are shy and silent, they do not to be the initiator. They just hide themselves behind those dominant students, not to be heard, because they think that they might express mistakes or errors or something else, and it is not for everyone. Can get very confusing. Here, for example, the facilitator and teacher, they give the information or the question, and not all students can understand what is the requirements, what should we do, and they ask each other, what should we do, what should we do? And in this case, teachers, they need to be careful to give the information more correctly, and she or he needs to be sure that did they understand it, or is it clear for them, or something else? Because all the time, in my experience as well, that when I give instructions, they look at me, yes, they glance at me, look with big eyes, and finding the answer that, oh, what should we do? Then I come to each other and explain them that your task is this or that. Not everyone will get a chance to express their views, of course, because of interruptions. It happens. Some students want, maybe the time limit didn't give them chance to express their views. They wanted to express, but they didn't have chance, or dominant students, they didn't let them to to express their views. And there are some other dozens of disadvantages of using discussion technique. And yes, here I have finished this presentation for you. I hope that this kind of topic was really interesting for you. Because during our classes, it is not easy to engage all of the students, and they need help, or we need some other new methods or techniques to engage students, because especially in high school students, they have problems during the speaking, expressing their thoughts or ideas. They do not know how to start, or how to give the main body statements. We know that every discussion, like other stages, they start with introduction. Then it is moved to body, and it is moved to conclusion. So the discussion, when we start in introduction parts, facilitator or teacher, they need to explain what is the topic about, and what do they know about this topic, and how to discuss. And in the main body, this is the most important one, because in this case they start discussing with each other. And the conclusion, that what did they find? Did they find any solution or not? So these were the kind of techniques that they might help you to engage all your students. You can think about different kinds of activities, putting those techniques as a head of this process. Because you are teachers, you can invent, you can create different types of activities in order to engage, using roundabout those techniques, like think, pay, share. This is the most common one. Mostly teachers use this kind of technique, and there are some other that they can help teachers, not also teachers, but also students, and to become more effective, and to become the great speakers during different discussions. So now we can discuss with each other. You can ask me different questions.
Okay, thank you so much, Bakhtibegim, for your interesting presentation. Can you share your favorite technique of that you are using in your classroom?
So my favorite technique, this is critical debate. This is, yes, I really like this kind of, I like, and also my students like, they want to criticize not in a way of negative one, but criticize different topics. I put them a question, and they, from different kinds of skills. Yes, we use different, we teach them different kinds of skills, like reading, speaking, writing, and listening. So mostly it can work with reading one. You can bring any kind of reading that authentic material. You can bring it to class, and they can discuss it. Yes, they critically come to that reading, and you put the question, what kind of questions really can can influence on speakers what to discuss, and then in a kind of flow, in a correct flow, they can give each other opportunity um, to give their solutions to that particular topic. It really works because it depends on facilitator, that what kind of questions are very good. Yes, really good question. You need to think about questions, otherwise it doesn't work. That the question should be very related to that topic. So what should they discuss? And of course, facilitator need to manage students. Otherwise, they go and they do not stop. You stop them with another question, and they speak. This kind of activity really works. They almost all the students, they express their opinions. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We have next question. Lots of viewers who are watching this webinar via Zoom and Facebook, they are asking their questions. So next question is coming from Donista. What are the most interesting discussion topics in your opinion?
So what are the most interesting discussion topics in your opinion? So yes, very good question. So these are related to students' lives. So what are they engaged? Yes, of course, we need to observe our students' lives, because they are interested in those topics, that they are working with them, they are engaged with these activities. For example, video games are, yes, video games are not good for students. Then you're watching horror films, it is a kind of violence for students. Those topics that are really, relevant to their lives, and they know what to speak about. It really works. Most interesting discussion topics that are related to your students' lives. For teenagers, mostly they are engaged in social networking. And for example, Facebook is not allowed for teenagers. So then they start arguing that why don't we have or why we are not allowed to use Facebook, and then you will see what will happen. Just your task is to manage their behavior, their time.
Emotions.
Yes, their emotions, of course, emotions.
Yeah, okay, that's very interesting. Thank you. So Fatima Saido is asking, how can I assess student learning in a discussion?
Okay, so assessing. This is also a very important one. Assessing, it depends on a teacher first, and there are some ready rubrics, speaking rubrics on in internet. You can find that they are divided in columns, that how did they express that. We need to assess, of course, their grammar. We need to assess their vocabulary, and we need to assess their accuracy. I mean, the range of vocabulary and the register. So how did they express it, and the amount of vocabulary? Did they use simple vocabulary or complicated vocabulary? Because it depends on the level of your students. If it is elementary, it is okay to use to make some mistakes, because it is elementary group. But when they move to pre-intermediate or some higher level, you need to be sure that they use appropriate language. They are accurate in using their statements, making up, yes, arrangement of words in a sentence, and their register, that is a formal or informal language. Just use rubrics. Rubrics, it is very helpful. It just makes your life easier to assess your students. And rubrics are ready.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we have a couple more questions. So next question, what are some strategies for managing difficult conversations in a discussion? If you have any, please share.
Okay, so let me. What are the?
What are some strategies for managing difficult conversations in a discussion?
Okay, managing. So the strategies that we use during managing the discussion, the conversation, yes, it might flow to a kind of, I mean, it's not, yes, sometimes it is not a debate, but they start using even offensive words. Sometimes it happens. And how can we manage? How can we manage our students? You give them the list of expression that, yes, you prepare them before starting putting them in that discussion. You give them that paper with agreeing, disagree language. And then first you discuss this one, that it is very important to use this language. Otherwise, you will be disqualified. For example, you will not be the participator of this discussion. Just follow the rules, and I mean, warning them not to use that bad language, because difficult conversation, it sometimes it is manageable, but sometimes it is not. I had this kind of I mean, event situation in my class. I divided the students. I put two lines chairs, and they sat on these chairs, and they even started to stand up with their hands showing to each other, almost touching each other. It was very difficult for me to. Then I gave them those papers. Please read this language, these statements, and can you please follow all the rules? This was a kind of managing them, and we did it together. And they didn't want to be managed, but they followed it. Just give them the language before the discussion. You give them instruction, some rules. There are special rules that you need to follow these particular rules.
Okay, thank you so much, Bakhtibegim. So how about using discussion technique in online learning? Are there any kind of challenges, or it should be only done like in person learning?
Okay, online learning. So online learning. So I didn't meet this kind of I mean process. But the challenges, of course, the challenges are everywhere. Online discussion, now discussion, it is good offline, because they see each other, they feel each other, they even touch each other, that to support each other. But challenges of using discussion technique in online learning, you might know those online rules, techniques, how to use them. For example, in Zoom, you divide them into rooms, and the challenges, for example, I myself participated in discussion via Zoom, and the teacher, the trainer, she divided us into rooms, and we didn't find each other first, because we didn't know what should we do. We didn't hear the instruction. Then we waited. We were in a group, but we didn't know what to do. This was a challenge for us, and for also for the teacher. Then the teacher, when she came, because she has an access to those groups, And when she entered our group, we were silent. And she said, "What's happening? Why don't you discuss with each other?" We said, "We don't know what to do." Then again, the time, yes, the time was limited. There wasn't time for discussion. It is a kind of challenge. First, yes, the challenge that we need to know how to use those online techniques. We should be familiar with techniques. Then we can easily divide the group into discussion rooms, and then you need to be sure that did they know the instruction, do they know what to do. This was a kind of challenge, and it happens because not all participants they know the online learning, and every time teachers and participants they face these challenges.
Yeah, thank you so much. So, Donista is asking how to control the noise during the discussion. Do you use any, like, any technique to calm down the class?
Noisy students.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So, noisy students, um, you can require from them that yes, you ask them for help. For example, if the student is very noisy, you can call this student and you just give him a kind of task. Yes, no, just task. Give him a task that you need to monitor those two groups, and it can help you to I mean to escape that noisiness in your class. This is one thing that you can, or if they don't come to one solution, you can change their places in different groups. Because because students they have different relationship, and you don't know exactly that what is the problem between them, and you can put that noisy student in another. This is another way to escape the noisiness. Um, there are some different tips that you give. For example, any paper that there are some instructions that can you please read these instructions to different groups, because I didn't have time to explain. Just engage those students with different tasks, and they will just know that, oh, I need to be silent because I have tasks, and they become a kind of leader because teacher chose them to be engaged in a more serious position, and they become happy, and they just stop noising to become noisy in your class.
Yeah, great. That's really great. Thank you so much. Okay, we have, I guess, our last question. How can teachers encourage learners to use particular grammar and practice particular language functions during the discussion?
Okay, so again, it depends on the level of the students. To encourage your learners in, yes, particular grammar topic, yes, you can sit with those different discussion groups, and you monitor them. And during your monitor, you listen to them, and you know that they use not correct grammar language, and you just give them a hint, or you can be a part of this group, and you in this case you can repeat that language in a correct way. Then that students will understand that I put my language incorrectly. This is one way to encourage them. You just repeat their sentence, but in a different way. It means that in a correct way. And before dividing them into groups, you just give them instruction that the language that you need to use, because beforehand you explain them a particular grammar topic, and they know they are aware of using this grammar, and you will tell them that I will monitor you and I will assess your language. You will show them the rubric that in this part you need to be careful using the language, otherwise your score will be lower. And they will try, even you don't put the lower mark, but they will try. You will see that they improve their language during that discussion. Thank you. I hope that my answer they satisfy you.
Thank you. Thank you, Bakhtibegim. And I think the last question popped up. Which of these types of discussion are appropriate for lower level of students?
Oh, very good question. For lower level, it is this one, talking chips. Talking chips, this technique, it is appropriate for lower level because they have the ready piece of papers with the language, with those, for example, color, the names of color, the names of object, the names of different things that when they start storytelling, yes, with the chips, they know what to express, because when you give them the free discussion, I mean, without any help, they will not know what to use and how to express their ideas. But in this case, just one word, it will help them to create a statement to express their ideas. Even they put it in an incorrectly in a sentence that the arrangement of words, it is a disaster, but they know what to say. They know because they have that word in their hand and they know how to express it in there, because it gives them an idea what to say. Any word, just one word can inspire them to create a sentence. I think this one, it is the most appropriate for lower level students.
Okay,
thank you.
Thank you so much, Bakhtibegim. So thank you. I think your question, your response was quite satisfying, and we can see, the words of gratitude from our participants to you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. So it was very interesting, and I hope that even those who are watching us on Facebook right now, they found really interesting tips that they can use in their teaching practice starting from tomorrow. And just I know that some teachers are on vacation, but anyway, this is another just useful way how to increase the teachers' tools and also teachers' tips. So thank you very much for sharing your experience with English Zaboras followers on Facebook and Zoom. And we look forward to more webinars with you, Bakhtibegim. We know that you have extensive teaching experience, and every time you bring some new food, and share with our audience. Thank you so much once again for your great job. And we also thank our followers, our watchers, our viewers who are joining this webinar from Zoom and Facebook. Stay tuned with us, and of course we will be looking forward to seeing you tomorrow. Please, at 4 p.m. we have our Telegram online speaking club, which is going to be another exciting opportunity to learn something new and to practice your speaking skills. So, and once again, huge thank you to all of you for making this webinar happen, and we wish you to have a great evening, everyone. Thank you, and see you.
Thank you very much. Yes, thank you all of you. Goodbye.
Thank you, Bakhtibegim. Thanks a
Thank
lot.
you to DWB team.
Thank you.